Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. First thing that is popping in the news, it is called Don't Start No Ish, Won't Be No Ish. Ladies, don't open your leg. Don't make the man insert them little teely inside of you. And not use any sorts of contraceptive. Unless, of course, you know, say him a bust blank. And unless, of course, you know, say your uterus, you can't breathe and him can't breathe anything. I am speaking about a video that is making its round over social media in which a man known as Galen Moland, said to be a popo that works at the Port Maria station that is in St. Mary. He was clearly seen beating what seems to be a lady that he's in some sorts of relationship with. Apparently, that relationship, trouble in a paradise relationship, gets sour after this lady realized that she was breathing for him or had some sort of child for him, went and did some sorts of DNA tests. The DNA came back just like Jerry Springer. You are the puppy for that dear little boy or little girl. But it seems as if him claims say Anna fi him pitney. So she came back and she said to the proof here, oh shame now. People, you know what them say about shame dog, they always bites. So apparently she pulled up wherever he was, wherever they used to have their little escapade, but it seems like Molan have an ex-sort of woman. And it seems like somebody decided that they were going to videotape this whole dramatic episode. People, me not tell no lie. This man had what seems to be some sorts of board. And he was clotting her. She was getting the MMA. She was getting the boxing. She was getting the jiu-jitsu. She was getting the karate. She was getting everything in the catalog. From the upper to the clotting, the ears, to the uppercut, to everything. People, it was a very sad sight to see. And what was even worse is that somebody or some people was actually recording this. You could also hear a little pick-me-a ball in the background and I say, stop it. We hear the person that actually was videotaping the episode saying, stop it, Molan, stop it, Molan, stop it. However, he was not hearing. He was on a rampage of clottings. Now, people, this is the thing. Whenever people say, man or woman in any sort of episode like that, most person would rather take out them smartphone and do the dumbest ish that they could do, record the whole episode, then hold on a minute. As a blogger like myself, this is what I always post. So maybe that might not be the best idea, but sometimes it works financially for the bloggers like myself. People prefer to record than to help, to stop. And sometimes when you say people, I get them clottings and people, I am not going to say they deserve it. But sometimes you part them and them go back is as if them addicted to the clottings. People, I am not saying that that is the case, but it seems as if sometimes people just stuck in a stupid. Now people, here's the thing, and this is just my opinion. Policeman is known for getting the most bun and even was given the most bun. Policeman love jump in at this one, that one, even when them go up on patrol. That is how a lot of times they lose their life because they make them COCKY or them little teely lead them astray. The same can be said whenever they get in any sort of relationship. Them love the sweets, them love the eats, but they don't like the responsibility. So therefore, apparently, this lady came with her proof for the DNA and he did not want to hear it. So therefore, he decides he wants to give this lady some proper clothings. Now, people, I don't know if this lady showed up at the house that Molan lives with his new girlfriend and him never want the new girlfriend, or maybe he was doing both, dibbling and dabbling in A and B. So therefore, he wanted her to see her way out of exposing his nasty ASS. If this was the girlfriend that was recording and telling him to stop, this should be a sign. Take sleep and mark DEATH. That baby girl, your time is going to come very soon. Women out there, Do not lay down with any sorts of careless man. Sometimes man just want the joy, but they don't want any sorts of responsibility. And in my opinion, the 4 worst people are the worst people, men and women, that you can in any sort of relationship with. Police, dancehall artists, social media influencer. I don't talk about bloggers who are sensible like myself. I talk about the little riffraff them like Jaden and where the next one name, something another president. People may just say, whenever you go under any sort of foul cub, if them SHIT pan you, you have nobody else to blame but yourself. Don't start no ish, won't be no ish. Plain and simple as that. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called, there's a saying that goes something like this: whatever you say or do can be used against you in the court of law. In this case, it is a name that you get or was given, alias name that is, it can come back and haunt you. Such is the case as it pertains to Mr. Steve Smith's OC Ticker, OC Flybrain. He was one of those infamous 3 characters that were implicated in the takeaway of 8 lives and 9 others as it pertains to Cherry Tree Lane that is in Clarendon. Based on what the Popo said, they went for him. There was some sorts of pie out. Confrontation with the Popo, you know the script. One other individual turning himself and the next one was captured in a couple of days. So 3 of them, 2 captured, one captured, one turned himself and one turned out on the opposite side of life. Now since then, the family has been on a relentless pursuit to give justice to their son or their family member. They are claiming that he was set up by the Popo. They were claiming that he was taken out in cold BLOOD. They were claiming that he had some sorts of alibi, that he was playing at some sorts of party at the same time. However, no proof, no video evidence. No proof or video evidence either to say that he was not there. So therefore, they will have to prove that in the court of law or in the court of public opinion. Based on what the mother said, she was right there when the Popo came. They came in 2 private vehicles. They actually primed away from her, took him around the corner and then blazed him up. However, the question that most persons on social media, in a news and in a real life wanted to know, how is it that he got that name? Not the ticker, but the fly brain. That is usually associated with some sorts of notorious gangster that is out there taking away people on a rapid basis, on a daily basis. So people, I am going to let one of his family members explain how he came about that name and that he was the actual person that gave him that name. Take a listen, take a look.
One day we was doing some work. And I had to keep on over and over telling me the same thing. So I turned to him and said, well, your attention span so small, like a fly. Come like a fly brain you have there. And from there, so the person in there start calling him to him. I said, yo, you don't call me supper. One brain no liquor.
That is not my son. My son don't weigh 110 pounds. That is not my son. So don't have any tattoo on him and full up him and like that and his body. The son have a look like that. And if you're going around with my son, that is not my son.
Him not involved in nothing. Nothing him not involved in. I just people. People no like we see how we are live. We have got to work every day. We spend no money every day. People no like we see how we are live. People here to for what? We no reason at all. We not do nobody nothing. And people here too.
Very good people, nice people them. You understand? When we and them we don't have nothing. You understand? Especially the girl that used to work down at Murray. You understand? She used to have a boyfriend in foreign now that was my friend. You understand? So, I don't know. What could I really go? So and then them just come put more trauma up on our head. Take out to cousin just like that.
Now people, there's a thing that is called, whenever you assume, you make an ASS out of you and me. So therefore, when people hear, especially coming from the Popo, as a matter of fact, that video that the family member was talking about, I actually got that video from a police group. So the Popo was putting out an agenda that, yes, see me as out with him friend them, oppose with all sorts of tool. The JCF even came out and said, this man was notorious. This man was wanted in the space for several takeaway and several pie out. He has been on the radar. The family is saying the polar opposites. He was never on the radar. He was never charged. So therefore, we would like the Popo to come now and say, who are these persons? What are the dates in which in pie up this individual or that individual? Because it seems as if you were doing some sorts of damage control. You, the DCP or the ACP, came out, that is Fitzbailey, and they said that this man was wanted over here, so over there, so for this, that, and what not. However, you did not give us any sorts of proof. So now that we are hearing two separate sides of the story, what we want now is the truth. What we want is a proper investigation to let us know, can we actually trust the Popo? Is it a case that we are so desperate that whenever any sort of despicable act is committed, we want justice at all costs? And we see exactly what is going on, that the people that the JCF are claiming that they encountered in some sorts of pie out, it might not be the truth. They are trying to do some damage control, so therefore they are using people as scapegoats. And the way that they are using them is actually taking them out so that they can look good. People, that is no sorts of justice. And I am not saying that this youth did not do anything, but just as say what they are telling us or what they have told us might not be the truth. And this is my disclaimer before I end on this topic. I understand that there are family members out there that are in denial, that facilitate the FUCKRY are beneficiaries of crime, so therefore they are going to say the polar opposite from the truth. However, sometimes that is not the case. Each case should be dealt with on an individual basis. That means that we can't just take one broad brush and paint everybody. Because whenever one innocent person lose their life in the quest for justice, there is no source of justice. It only means that 8 people lose their life, 9 people get caught up, and maybe a next possible person that had nothing to do with it is being implicated, is being framed, just to cover face of the JCF and their lack of solving any sorts of crime, point blank and period.
Me get up and me look down to where the board was. We see everybody running to where I was. And it was just chaos. We see it all the time on the television. You understand? You hear it. But me never know say it would have me that experience it. Right now, like me I walk, but I'm in a daze. And tomorrow my mother bury, you know. But my mother set up, you understand? And I would just want to say to the young men out there that pulling the trigger is not the answer for anything. Because at the end of the day, you know, one day your life will go get cut down too. You understand? So we have to be so careful. We are living here in Jamaica and you have a loved one die and, you know, people just having a little celebration or something and it cannot be peaceful. It's a lucky thing, so we share the food earlier, so we have to dash the whole of the food today. Because after that, last night, nobody no want no food.
So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Say It Is Not So. Jamaica get from bad to worse. Based on information that I am getting, it is said that at least 8 persons were conned up at a wake for artist Christopher Martin's grandmother at a place known as Cudjoe Hill, Point Hill, that is in St. Catherine. It is said that at least 1 person lost their life. Now people like me say, me not see this in the news, me not see this in the Gleaner. However, there's an article that just came out and it is said that this is a note coming from Christopher Martin at I Am Christopher Martin. And the caption goes something like this: My heart is heavy this morning as I reflect on the tragic event that occurred last night at my beloved grandmother's wake. She was a woman of deep faith and made endless sacrifice. Someone who taught me the true meaning of love and community. It's devastating to see violence cast a shadow over what should have been a moment of peace and remembrance. Now, people, can you imagine that? You have your grandmother, somebody where you love, any sort of family member, somebody that is a staple in the community, somebody that should have at least been given the decency to rest in peace. And at her wake, some set of lunatic decides them want to blaze up the people that were there mourning. So they want to add more mourning on top of mourning. The only thing that I can say, condolences to the family of Mr. Christopher Martin. It is indeed a very tragic circumstance. But people, this is Jamaica. Not saying that it is justified, me just as say, it seems as if craziness has become the normal in Jamaica. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it seems as if what they say is true. Karma has no sorts of expiration dates. And if you live by the GUN, surely you too shall DIE by that same toll. Such is the case of an incident that took place on Tower and West Street, in which it said that a man known as Kirk Orlando Francis, known as Judas, said to be an ex-strongman from Tivoli, he was GUN down in some sorts of parking lots. Now, people, here's the thing, like me say. Whenever you are a strong man, unless, of course, you were some sorts of community leader, not the atypical Dan that put out any sorts of order. Because first thing first, for you to become a Dan in any garrison such as Tivoli Garden, that means you must have taken out a couple of lives. You must have ordered a couple of lives being taken out. So therefore, when your time comes, even if you decide, say, listen, me I going to give my life to Christ, and I am going to do the right thing from here on. Maybe the sins of you come back and haunt you. Sometimes they say the sins of the father come back and haunt the son or the daughter. Well, it seems as if the sins of the father came back and took out the father of Tivoli, one of the fathers of Tivoli. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, there's a popular song that says something like this: age ain't nothing but a number and love ain't nothing but a thing. Some crap like that. I think Aliyah is the artist that sang it. Well, people, it seems as if that saying is true to form, because we see the other day, them bust a couple of people in Avondale for about £5,000 of cocoa. The ages range from 40-something to 70-something. We saw that with that incident that took place in a Cherry Tree Lane. The ages again, 1 year and 9 months up to at least 70-something year old. We see the person in a Tivoli that I spoke about just before this. And if you look at the screen, there's a next man. He is known as Prezi. Well, people, when we talk about Prezi, we are talking about president, we are talking about Dodos. And we know that him is a gangster. Maybe this man is just the president of some place, maybe where he lives. Sometimes the name can come back and haunt you. Don't know if this man is involved in anything or he is just a successful businessman in which bad mind come and take him out, or he was robbed, random case of robbery. People, me don't know the case. However, whatever President did, the people that took him away in their mind probably thought that taking away his life was justified. As soon as I get some more pertinent information, I'll be sure to divulge ASAP. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.